Winter brides, you're going to want to watch this. The first thing we're going to do is flip over our picture frame. We are going to remove the glass. Now I'm going to take just a scrap piece of floral foam and some scissors and just break off a little square. Now we'll take our brick of styrofoam, place it in the corner of our picture frame. I'm going to just use 2 zip ties. If you have one long enough, that works as well. And all I'm going to do is just zip tie this right in place. I'm going to begin with some of our maidenhair fern. And all I'm going to do is just poke them right into the styrofoam. You can come back in with a little bit of hot glue for some added reinforcement. You can pull some of the branches up so it's a little bit more compact. And our last piece will go here. Now I have some of this leather fern, and we did the same thing. We just broke it into smaller pieces. And the reason I love these two greeneries so much, especially together, is they both have kind of a chartreuse color to them. Now I have this beautiful cherry blossom branch, and what we're going to do is snip this down into smaller pieces as well. I'll take one long piece and I'll place it shooting straight out on the left. And with the picture frame, what we're essentially doing is enhancing it. We don't want to cover this up completely. So make sure that you're just working in just enough so that it doesn't overwhelm the design. Now we're going to work in one of our freeze-dried roses, and I absolutely love them. These are a really kind of light pink, peachy cream color. I'll start with one bloom and place it shooting upwards. We'll take our other fully open bloom, place it down below, and our last bloom we'll place somewhere in the middle. And here is how it turned out, you guys. I absolutely love it, and it was so easy to put together. Everybody and anybody can do this, and again, I think it's especially beautiful for weddings. You can do this with year-round flowers. You can be doing this for Christmas, for Halloween, for fall, you name it. And you can also place a picture or a sentimental text right in the middle of it. At my local craft store, I picked up one of these monograms. My sister really likes light colors, so I chose some of these really pretty light pink roses and these really pretty cream roses. And by pulling up all of this greenery, we're not going to have to work in any additional foliage because all of these roses have a few leaves each, which is going to hide any of the foam from showing through. After pulling up your flowers, we're going to take our stems and cut them about 3 to 4 inches long. And once you've cut your stem, we're going to take the end of it and just give it a slight bend. And that way we can apply hot glue. We're going to start with the pink roses and add some hot glue to the end. And all we're going to do is just take that flower and place it in the letter. And what you see me doing is I'm just kind of staggering the flowers. We have both this beautiful blush pink and the white to work in. And I want them to be somewhat evenly dispersed so that we have the colors all throughout. One thing with the letters is we want to make sure we don't lose the shape. Some letters are easier than others. I think the letter O would be the easiest because there's nothing that you can kind of lose within the shape. We're going to adjust these a little bit and fill in as needed to get the shape perfect. And here is how it turned out, you guys. I absolutely love it. It was really inexpensive to do, cost less than $10 to create. And the perk of this is that you can do it in any color combo. You can do this for seasons. You can do this for holidays. You can do it with your name, a friend's name, a teacher's name, you name it. I went to my local TJ Maxx and I found this really pretty picture frame, and I love the oval shape on this, and I thought we could spruce it up. I have this brick of styrofoam that I got from Walmart. Now I'm going to take a pair of scissors. You can find these from nixseasonaldecor.com. And all I'm going to do is snip off a very small square. We don't need much whatsoever. Just a little piece will do. After cutting my little brick of foam, I'm just going to take some hot glue. Using my glue skillet, I just apply it to a little scrap piece of floral foam. After that, we can take our little piece of styrofoam and secure it to the side of the oval picture frame. And I also found the perfect matching bouquets for this picture frame. So you can also find these from nixseasonaldecor.com. So if you wanted, you could actually just snip the bouquet off by cutting the raffia. And then if you're designing a wreath or a swag or a garland, you have a whole bunch of individual stems that you can work in. And the stems are really long. In today's case, we're not going to need those stem lengths. So what we're going to do is simply and solely just snip them about 2 inches long. So we're going to start with some of this greenery. I'm going to place one down below. We'll do the same thing up top. And we're going to just fill in with some of our beautiful flowers. And I think this peony color is my favorite. It's got that really rich orange. Take another peony, place it on the inside, and just continue filling in. I also have this really pretty fern, so we don't want to see the foam in the end. We essentially want a picture frame full of beautiful flowers, and then by having these flowers on the outside, it kind of looks like it's 3D. It looks like the flowers are growing out of the picture frame. Place a piece down below, a piece up top, and so on and so forth. And I have one final piece, and I'm actually going to lift this flower and poke it in there. And here's how it looks hanging in my dining room. I absolutely love it. So since it's just a picture, it has one of those little hooks on the back, and I just replaced one of the pictures I already had hanging up. It's really lightweight. All we used is one peony bouquet and a little bit of leftover fern. And I love that it looks like the flowers are growing from the picture. I'm in my dining room and I decided to spruce up the back of my chairs. So I'm going to start with a zip tie, and I'm going to place that on the top of my chair and secure it like so. It doesn't have to be really tight because we have flowers and greenery to work in. I'm going to take my cutters and some of our sweet Annie bush. I'm going to remove the tag, and at the same time, I'm going to trim the stem and snip it. I'm going to do that to 2 of them, and we're going to work them in opposite directions. Now I have these really pretty cream sunflowers, and we have them in all sorts of colors and sizes. We're going to just snip them off into smaller pieces. We don't want to overwhelm the chair. We are here to accent the chair, so we don't want pieces any really longer than this, which is about 10 inches or so. So with these particular sunflowers, I'm snipping right above the lower leaf so that we have 1 leaf and 1 flower, and then the second leaf we're going to snip, leaving about 2 inches of a stem. Now we're going to take our greenery that we've already pre-cut, and we're going to work them in opposite directions so that they're facing in each side. So this essentially is creating a little swag like that. We're going to work them together. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sunflowers. So I'm going to place one in one direction, another in the opposite direction, and our third kind of somewhere in the middle. We're going to bend that any direction that we want. We also have a few of those leaves that we can work in at this point too. One final enhancement is I have these little cream berries. So I'm just going to work those in. I love the cream for my home. It blends in and it's not drawing too much attention. And I think these would also be great for weddings, on the chairs. It'll also look great on the pews. You name it, a very easy technique to create. So we're going to just take a handful of those. Make sure everything's within your hand because that is what we're going to use our zip tie for. And I'm just feeding the zip tie through my hand and securing it from the front. We want to secure it from the front so that we don't have the pokey bit towards the chair. And then we can just take our cutters and snip off the excess. Now I'm going to take an extra zip tie and secure it to the original zip tie and the swag itself. Now we can take our cutters and snip off that excess zip tie like that. Now it's time to fluff this out. So I'm going to keep the 2 sunflowers, one on either end, and then just bring the third one to the front. And then we can just take that sweet Annie bush and bring it every which way. And we can just continue fluffing it. The nice thing about the zip tie is when the celebration, party, wedding, event is over, you can snip that zip tie off and call it a day. I also think it's beautiful to be left up for each season and holiday as well. Very inexpensive, and with the zip tie and the way we worked it in, essentially as a swag, you know, just working in things in opposite direction, it's really easy to create these for each and every chair. And it's budget friendly, using only a few ingredients. So this is how it looks in the back of the chair. We're going to take a step back and show you how it looks. And here's how it turned out, you guys. I absolutely love it on the back of a chair. So we used 3 sunflowers, 2 of our sweet Annie bushes, and just a little bit of berries. And that is it to create this look. You could add some ribbons. You can switch out the flowers for seasons and holidays. You can work in pumpkins for fall. You can work in poinsettias for Christmas. Such an easy way of sprucing up your dining room or kitchen or any chair in your home without breaking the bank and without the frustration. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Home Talk.